Hello everyone, welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. Today in this episode of VITEEE Questions with Solution, we're going to be looking at some sample questions of aptitude which are based on the subjects of aptitude for VITEEE 2021. So we're going to be looking at some of these questions based on different subjects of aptitude in detail. Here comes our first question. The first three questions of this episode are based on data interpretation. So here are the directions for the first three questions. 6 teams, A, B, C, D, E, and F, participate in a cricket tournament. In the first round, each team plays one match against every other team. The winning team is awarded 3 points and the losing team gets 1 point. In the case of a draw, each team is awarded 2 points. The team with the highest number of points enters the final. The semi-final is played between the next 2 teams. The winner of the semi-final enters the final. The winner of the finals is declared the champion. There can be no draws in the final and the semi-final. The results of all the matches played by the teams at the end of the tournament are given below. So here we have a graph which, contains the scorecard of all of the 6 teams. Orange stands for a loss, yellow stands for a draw, and green stands for win. So let's look at the number of matches each team played and the total points they garnered. So for Team A, they lost 1 match, drew 2 matches, and won 3 matches. So 3 plus 2 plus 1 means that a total of 6 matches were played by Team A. And the number of points, it'll be 1, and then 2 times 2 means 4, and 3 times 3 means 9. 9 plus 4 plus 1 means that they got 13 points. Actually it's 14 points, not 13. So 14 points was won by Team A. Now let's look at Team B. Team B lost 2 matches, drew 2 matches, and won just 1 match. So therefore, they played 5 matches, and their score is 2 times 1, that is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 3 is 3. So 4 plus 3 plus 2 gives you 9 points. Next, for Team C, they played 3 matches. They lost 3 matches, so 3 points. They drew 1 match, so that gives them 2 points. And they won a match, and that gives them 3 points. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So they played 5 matches, and they got 8 points. Team D lost 4 matches, so 4 times 1 is 4. They drew 0 matches, so that's 0, and they won just a single match. So therefore, they'll also get 3 points from that match. So 4 plus 3, 7 will be the amount of points that Team D got from their 5 matches. Let's look at Team E. Team E lost 2 matches, so they get 2 points, and they drew 3 matches, so that's 2 times 3, 6 points, and from their single victory, they got 3 points. 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 2 is 11. And their total number of matches, 2 plus 3, 5, plus 1 is 6. And finally, you have Team F. They lost a match, so that's 1. They drew 2 matches, so that's 4. And they won an astounding 4 matches, so that gives them 12. So they played 7 matches, and they scored 17 points. So these are the number of matches that each team played and the number of points that each team has scored. Now let's look at the 3 questions. Question number 1. Who is the champion? Well, if we were to understand which of these teams is the champion, we can easily find that out by looking at the number of wins. So in order to find out the winner, we need to look at a comprehensive set of quantities and find out which team has the best in all of them. So Team F has got the most number of wins at 4. They also played the most number of matches at 7, and they also scored the maximum number of points, that is 17. So therefore, option D, Team F, has to be the correct option. Team A played 6 matches, and they scored 13 points, and they had 3 wins. Team B scored just 9 points. They weren't even contenders. Team D just got 7 points. That's the least. So all of these other options are incorrect. The correct option is option D, Team F. So they played 7 matches. They scored 17 points, and they have the maximum number of wins at 4. So let's look at the next question. Question 2. The semifinal is played between the teams. So how do we find out which of these teams played the semifinal? Well, for that, you can look at the number of matches. Now, as you can see, Team F are the winners, but they also played the most number of matches. That means Team F had to win both the semifinals and the finals. And similarly, Teams A and E played 6 matches each, which is 1 more than the number of matches in the first round. That's 5. So therefore, Team A and Team E also were present in the semifinals and final respectively. So one of the teams, A or E, entered the final, and the other team had to play with Team F, and they lost that match. So having known the statistics of the teams before the semis and the finals, let's reduce that. So for Team F, the points before the semis began will be 1 loss, and then 1 loss, 2 draws, and then 2 wins. So 6 plus 4 is 10, and 10 plus 1 gives them 11. So they scored 11 points before the starting of the semifinals. And if you look at Team A, lost just 1 match, and that has to be in the semis or the finals. And since you can't have the semis or finals in a draw, so therefore it's the loss that gets discounted out here. So you have 4 points from the draws and 9 from the wins. So A gets 13 points, and Team E also, they lost 2 matches, so you can discount 1 loss, which was in the semis or finals. So therefore, they have 1 loss, and then 1 from the loss, 6 from the draws, and 3 from the wins. So therefore, their score will be 10. So Team E has 10 points, Team F has 11 points, Team A has 13 points. Now, the team with the maximum number of points goes to the final. So A is in the final directly. That means E and F have to play the semifinals. So therefore, option D, E and F is the correct option. Option C is incorrect because A moved to the finals. Option B is incorrect because B didn't qualify, because you can only get 1 team that goes to the finals and 2 in the semifinals. B had a score lower than F, A, and E, and option A is incorrect because A moved directly to the finals and B wasn't present among the other 2 teams. So therefore, the correct answer is option D, teams E and F. Now, we know that A moved to the final. We also know that F had won the semis and the finals. So therefore, for question 3, which 2 teams played the final? The correct answer is option C, teams A and F. So Team F are the victors. Team A moved to the final first because they had the most number of points at that stage. So therefore, option C had to be the correct option. A, B is incorrect because B didn't qualify. B, D is incorrect. None of those teams qualified. B and F is incorrect because B didn't qualify. So therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Now, let's look at the next question. A bus for Chicago leaves every 30 minutes. So we have a bus from a particular station that moves towards Chicago, and it departs every 30 minutes. An inquiry clerk told the passenger that the bus had already left 10 minutes ago, and the next bus will leave at 9:35 a.m. And you need to tell me at what time did the inquiry clerk give this information to the passenger. So this is a question from calendar, clock, and time, and we have to calculate the time at which the inquiry clerk gave this information to the passenger. So what we do know that the bus leaves every 30 minutes. We also know that the next bus is at 9:35 a.m. So that means if you subtract 30 minutes, the previous bus must have left at 9:05 a.m. And we also know that the clerk told the passenger the bus had already left 10 minutes ago. So at what time did the inquiry clerk give this information? That'll be 9:05, 10 minutes after 9:05, which is 9:15 a.m. So 9:15 in the morning was the time at which the inquiry clerk gave this information to the passenger, had given this information to the passenger. So option B, 9:15 a.m. is the correct option. Option A is incorrect because it means that the previous bus left at 9, and the next bus will leave at 9:30, which is incorrect. 8:55 means that the bus left at 8:45, and the next bus will be at 9:15, which is incorrect. 8:08 meant that the bus left at 7:58, and the next bus will leave at 8:28, which is again incorrect according to the question's values. So therefore, the correct option among the following is option B, 9:15 a.m. The next question: if orange is called butter, butter is called soap, soap is called ink, ink is called honey, honey is called orange, which of the following is used to wash clothes? So what we're going to do is we're going to write the object in lowercase, and we write the letter representing that object, the word representing that object, in caps. So orange is represented by butter. The word butter, the item that is butter will be represented by the word soap, and the item soap is represented by the word ink, and the object ink is represented by the word honey, and the object that is honey will be represented by the word orange. So, which of the following is used to wash clothes? So in this particular option, in this particular question, we're using coding and decoding. So the code is the word that's given to the particular object. So the code for soap is ink, the code for butter is soap, etc. Now, in order to wash clothes, we use soap, lowercase soap. And the object that is soap is coded as INK. So therefore, option C, ink, is the correct option. Now, I know that sounds weird because when you put ink on your clothes, it becomes dirty, but trust me, for coding and decoding, for this question on coding and decoding, that is the correct option. Now, if you were to look at the other options, option A, honey, the word honey would mean that ink was used to wash clothes, which we know is not correct. The word butter would mean that an orange was used to wash clothes, which is incorrect. And the word orange would mean that honey was used to wash clothes, which again would be incorrect because we use soap to wash clothes. That means ink had to be the correct option among the following. So option C is the correct option. Now, the next question. Ryan is facing west. He turns 45 degrees in the clockwise direction, and then another 180 degrees in the same direction, and then 270 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. Now he is facing southwest, southeast, northeast, and northwest. So, our beloved Ryan was present facing west. Now, suddenly, he turned 45 degrees. So, 45 degrees is half of a perpendicular. So, therefore, now Ryan should face northwest. Next, he turned another 180 degrees. That means he turned around. So that would mean he had to turn 2 perpendiculars. So from northwest to northeast, northeast to southeast. So from there, he's now turned to southeast. Next, he turned 270 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. So if you are getting confused about the direction that he has turned, then what we can do is we can add 180 and 45. So 180 plus 45, 0 plus 5 is 5, 8 plus 4 is 2, 12. So 1 goes here, 1 plus 1 is 2. So 225 degrees from the original direction is where Ryan is facing now, clockwise. So we need to now turn 270 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. So on the way he would have to pass west. So that means a good idea is to, subtract 225 from 270 degrees. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 6 minus 2 means 7 minus, 6 minus 2 is 4, 2 minus 2 is 0. So he have turned 45 degrees anti-clockwise from west. So that means from southeast, he would turn and turn and turn, and he'd reached west. That's 225. Then he turned another 45 degrees. That would place him facing the southwest direction. So therefore, the correct option is option A, southwest. So one way is to use the cardinal directions and then find out the angles at each stage. Another way is, since we have 45 and 180 in the clockwise sense and 270 in the anti-clockwise sense, we just subtract the lesser angle from the greater angle, take the difference, find out its direction, and find out the final direction that he's facing, which means 45 degrees from west, anti-clockwise. That will mean southwest. So option A, southwest, is the correct option. If he were to be facing southeast, then that would be this direction, which is incorrect. Facing northeast would mean he would be facing here, which is incorrect. That would mean about 135 degrees, and southeast would mean 225 degrees clockwise, and northwest would mean just 45 degrees clockwise. So all of the other directions forced Ryan to move clockwise. It was in the southwest direction that Ryan had to move anti-clockwise. So therefore, option A, southwest, is the correct option. Now, this question is based on number series. Find the missing number in the following sequence: 4, 6, 12, 14, 28, 30, and the next number is what we have to find out. So 4 plus 2 gives you 6. 6 plus 6 gives you 12. 12 plus 2 gives you 14. And 14 plus 14 gives you 28. 28 plus 2 gives you 30. 30, and then what is the difference in order to get the next number? So as you can see, there plus 2 is added at alternate intervals. Let's look at the other half of the intervals, plus 6 plus 14. Now, what is common here is that 6 plus 6 gave you 12. That also means that 6 times 2 would give you 12. Similarly, 14 plus 14 gives you 28. That means 14 times 2 will also give you 28. So the pattern here is plus 2 and then into 2. So first we add by 2. For the next number we multiply by 2, then we add by 2, then we multiply by 2, then we add by 2, and then we multiply by 2. So on and so forth. So that is the pattern for the series. Now 28 plus 2 gives you 30. So that means the next number has to be 30 times 2. So 30 into 2, which will be equal to 60. So therefore, option D, 60 is the correct answer. Option C, 62 is what would have come after 60, which is incorrect. And then 64 is also incorrect. 32 would have been the answer if it was plus 2, but then that's not the case, because in that particular turn you had to use into 2. So the odd number of turns, so the odd turn is plus 2, and the even turns are multiplied by 2. First turn is plus 2, third turn is plus 2, fifth turn is plus 2, and so on. Second turn is multiplied by 2, fourth turn is multiplied by 2, so therefore the sixth turn had to be multiplied by 2. So therefore option D, 60, is the correct option. Let's look at the final question of this episode. This question is based on syllogism. 2 statements are given, followed by 2 conclusions, numbered 1 and 2. Read the statements and give the correct answer. The statements are: all painters are spoilt, some writers are painters. And the conclusions: all spoilt writers are painters, some writers are spoilt. So let's start drawing, diagrams in order to represent the statements. The first statement is that all painters are spoilt. So that means if we have a set of painters, then this set will be completely inside another set, which will be titled spoilt. So all painters are inside spoilt. Next, some writers are painters. So that means we have a third set, and the name of this set is writers. And as you can see, some part of writers belong to the set of painters. So some writers are painters. Now let's look at the conclusions. All spoilt writers are painters. Now, this particular conclusion cannot follow, because we do not know, first of all, the exact area of spoiled. We haven't got a statement saying that all writers are in spoiled. So therefore, all spoiled writers are painters is not correct, because there is some area left here which have spoiled writers but not painters. So let's look at the next conclusion. Conclusion 2 states that some writers are spoiled. Now that is true, because some part of that set, which is writers, is present in the set spoiled, and some part of that is present inside painters. So some writers are spoiled. It doesn't matter whether they're painters or not. So some writers are spoiled is a conclusion that follows the 2 statements. So among the 4 options, only conclusion 1 follows is incorrect. Either 1 or 2 follows is also incorrect, because 1 cannot follow. Both 1 and 2 follow is also incorrect. The correct option is option B, only conclusion 2 follows. So that concludes this episode on VITEEE for the subject Aptitude. We hope you found this episode interesting. For more of our useful and interesting content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, that is Brain Blitz Audios. If you want to have access to the playlist that is VITEEE, then don't forget to hit the playlist in the description box down below. You can also press the notifications button for the latest updates from Brain Blitz Audios. I wish every one of you the best in writing your VITEEE examination. So, having said that, this is Brain Blitz Audios signing off. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye for now.